go, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk first look. This one sent in by Maddog the First. Clan Zeus and his Caernarvon, Tier 8. Looks like he's top tier in a 357 on Lakeville. Spawned into the north spawn, he's headed into town. As this is a first look, I have not looked at this yet. This is the first time I viewed it. So we'll comment as we go and see how close I am to what Maddog is thinking. It's got an E25 in the middle. He takes a look. Keeps on trucking. Looking for that snapshot, more than likely. No sense stopping, especially you can get spotted right there. He does cut a little further inside than I would down the road. That's relatively safe, but I usually get back behind those buildings. You can see the Fury just took a hit, but more than likely because the Fury fired. So he's looking at the bush the E25's in, and he puts a shot right in there. A couple things about this is he is still needing both engines and the tracks, I believe is what he said on this one. Let me take a look at it. Yes, tracks in both engines. He has a rammer, vert stab, and he's got the enhanced suspension equipment on it so that he can mount what he wants without having the tracks. He is running a repair kit, a first aid kit, and an automatic fire extinguisher. He's got 15 APCR, 28 AP, and 5 HE. The Caernarvon's got a bad reputation, and it was a pretty mediocre tank for quite a long time. It has recently had a buff, and I believe if it's not the top DPM for Tier 8 heavies, it's very near the top on the DPM. As a fast reload time, it's only a 280 alpha, but between its fast reload time and decent damage, it really can spit the damage downrange. It just doesn't have the fear factor of that big gun. He ends up taking an artillery shot right there. Unknown if he has 6th sense. Let's find out if we see it go off. Not sure whether that was just a lucky shot or if he was seen right there. But it's just him and a Leo event immediately at the beginning. The T-34 is over on the other side, so that does free him up a little bit. There is a Tiger 2 trolling around somewhere. Is that a Tiger 2? I'll have to take a look and make sure. Yep, that's a Tiger 2. Oh, is that him? There he is. So he's found the Tiger 2. And then there's a Tier 8 TD, which is probably back camping. Does a nice job sneaking a shot in, and then he checks left, and holy cow, he has guys in every direction right here. And they're circling around behind him, which I don't think he sees quite yet. Let's go ahead and pay attention. Holy macaroni. There's an M6, Tiger 2, WZ-01, 3001P, and he is what you would call overextended. Let's see how Maddog deals with this. He backs out, covering up against the Tiger 2 and the 01 as best he can, and then comes around and starts DPMing the lighter tanks. He's going to have the WZ on his side here, trying to take down the 3001. That's one gun out. That's good. He's covered up from the WZ. He's going to work on the M6. Here comes the 01. Bam! Takes a big HE shot. He actually eats 400 damage from that thing. And he's backed into this alleyway here, and he doesn't have the attention of the E25, or the E25 doesn't have shots, luckily, so this is not a great spot. And that was nicely done by Maddog. He survives that by isolating the threat as best he can, covering up against the WZ, covering up against the 01 for a while. The Tiger 2 does not push the advantage for some reason. And look at this, Maddog is still alive. He's at 2,500. So nicely done on that. And I've talked about that in several of my videos lately, that when you get surrounded like that, the trick there is to isolate the threat as best you can. He's going to use this Leo as armor maybe. Yep. Just complicate the shots, but unfortunately the Tiger 2 does get into his side, and he's now ammo racked. And he doesn't have a repair kit. That's going to hurt the DPM, but boom, the LTG comes in behind and eats the Tiger 2's lunch, and now things are much more copacetic for Maddog and his team, but unfortunately they've lost on the 1-2 line completely. So let's see what Maddog does. Looks like he's thinking about heading back. E25 can see him. He's well within the E25 spotting range, so if he goes low down close here, something just fired into that area there for some reason. Oh, looks like they might have been shooting at the 01. So he crosses over here. T28 Proto is moving up, so at least that will be lights if that 120-1 FT gets over there onto his cap. The biggest problem he has right now is that E25 and the Reds owning that the middle road, because it's going to be very problematic for him to get across especially this open area. As long as he can fight from these buildings, he'll be fine, but if he needs to cross, that's going to be a big problem. Looks like the E-25 is unknown where that thing has gone. I would have expected him to take shots on the side by now. LTG is moving forward. So it looks like Maddog's going to be able to get up into this cover up here. He needs to get a little bit more altitude so he can get shots onto the guys that are pushing the cap. Moving up, moving up. Fixed his ammo racks. That helps. There's the E-25. That's very interesting that he didn't see anybody. Misses the E-25. Ah, got him tracked though. Somebody did. Nice accuracy on the Caern on that little gun. Up he goes. Would have really liked to have the engines right there, I'd imagine. So a little bit slow. But as far as the offensive capability, he's got everything he needs with that gun. With the gun and the rammer. Proto's doing some work. He's pretty much stoppered everything that was pushing onto the cap. There's a big old S-51 sitting here. Maddog is careful not to bump him. That was nicely done. Especially on a S-51, if you make him have to re-aim, that takes a couple of years. Down goes the Proto, so he does a decent job of stoppering him. Down goes the M44, who was pushing. The other artillery's pushing in too. The WZ takes down. Actually, that was the 155-50 takes down the LTG. So instead of pushing across, he's got to be a little more cagey here and see if he can entice the WZ to make a mistake. There is a 12T rolling around somewhere, and he's going to be a problem. Looks like also the TD. What is that other TD? The IKV is also unspotted, so he's around somewhere. If he comes along the middle road, that could definitely be a problem. At least there's this little dip though here now for Maddog to fight out of. 2RD are back there. Down goes the 01, so what was looking fairly promising is now a big problem. The 01 unfortunately pushed to their cap like a complete buffoon. Unknown why he would do that. Oh, looks like Maddog's seen. So no sixth sense for Maddog. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here comes that big TD. Critical damage. Got him tracked. Oh, look at that reload. Nicely done. Oh, 7 hit points left over. He rolls a 296, which is slightly high, so it's not too bad. He does have to watch that artillery. That Lorraine is in a bad position to hit him, but it's fast enough that if it headed south, it could fairly soon be set up to start doing things. 12T is obviously on that center road. That's a problem. He can't push out. He doesn't really have any good options at this point. Oh, well, never mind. He's going to push. He's decided, you know what? I'm just going to have to go clean out this WZ-120. It's my only choice, and maybe I can get lucky. Oh, are we going to do it? Oh, look at this. He's going to take the chance to stop. Nicely done. Down goes the artillery. That was well done. He can actually take a hit from the WZ. Would like to avoid one, obviously, because then it'll probably be a splash to the artillery. Oh, there's no artillery. Never mind. Doesn't matter. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Down goes the WZ, and now it's just finding a TD and a little scout, and that's still problematic. Between the scout's DPM and the TD's relatively good gun at its tier, it's still trouble. Looks like he's spun around, maybe going to the middle. His artillery's moving around in the open. It looks like they're running away from that side of the map, which is not a bad idea. I would probably go get down in the pit behind Maddog if I were them. I'd be back in there at this point. S-51 is, I'm not sure what his... Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure what his plan was right there, but that was not a good spot to be. So Maddog's going to go up the middle. I think that's a pretty good idea. He might trap or find one of the guys hanging out in the middle here, or he'll just uncover the TD being foolish and moving around the open. Oh, nice track. He doesn't have a kit. Oh yeah. Oh, he does. He got fixed. He's moving. Look at the DPM. See how fast this reload is. Nice. Down goes the IKV-65. Well played on that one. And now it's just a matter of finding the scout. Now the scout can beat him if he can stay unspotted, especially if he gets to his side or rear. Unknown. It probably has enough in the clip to do 600. So he is in danger of being clipped out by the 12T. With a little luck on the 12T's part, you might be able to take him down. The biggest problem is being spotted and shot without seeing what it is. And if he gets pinned down in this middle behind a rock because the scout is somewhere that he can't get to or see, then he can have trouble. The nice thing about the middle is it's easy to get back. So if for some reason the 12T shows up, jumps on the cap, or takes out the M44, he can easily turn around. He's got 4 minutes, though, to track down one little scout on a map that does provide some decent scout cover. Well, this will be a bit of a trick. He's got 3,793 damage, though, with 1,309 assists, doing really nicely as far as that goes. Gonna keep on moving up here. And as I recall, no Sixth Sense. So Sixth Sense can be a de facto spotting mechanism to at least know they're near enough to see you. It can be a bit of an issue if you don't have it. But he drives all the way around here and nothing going. Looks like he's going to try to force the scout's hand. That's one way to do it with the scout. One of the tricks, obviously, is whether or not they can get to a bush and shoot you on the cap where you can't see them. Yeah, I think you should turn around. I'm not sure I would keep my rear end pointing that way. I would probably point my front end the other way. I think he was checking to see if the guy might show up along the western approach there. Gave it a few potatoes, and now he's just going to sit here and wait. He's as far away as he can be from this area over here, but he is kind of poking his rear end right there. But if the scout does show up, he can just scoot up into this little area here and cover up, turn around, and go after the scout. If the scout shows up out here in a bush that he can't quite see him, could be a problem. M44 is moving, but he hasn't been shot. That's actually knowledge right there. That indicates the scout's not close enough to see. Nope, there he is. He is close enough to see now. Down he goes. Well, that's interesting because that's 2 rounds. Now he's got a decision. He needs to reload or come in with the rounds he's got. The reload on the 12T is fairly quick, but he's only got 28 seconds to do this. There's a bounce. Yep. So he knows he's in that bush. It looks like he's going to cover up with that shed. That's a great idea right there. Well done. I think I would have just stayed back. Well, no, maybe he's just not a bad idea. He's approaching to the shed. If the guy shoots down the shed, he might actually get the spot on him when he shoots next time. Surprised he didn't shoot the shed down. That's interesting. So for whatever reason, decided not to continue and try. The other thing that may have happened there is the 12T may have taken those several shots on the M44, saved his shells, fired at Maddog, not pinned, and then been forced to do a reload. So he may have actually run out on that clip. Depending on how he managed his clip, that could have been a problem right there. But Maddog ends up with the win at 6 kills, 3,793 damage, 1,309 spotting. And this is a great example, once again, of winning a flank and going back to your cap when it's threatened, cleaning up the threat at the cap, and then being alive at the end of the game to ensure victory. So nice job, Maddog. Thanks for sending that in, everybody else. As always, I appreciate your support of the channel. Keep the videos coming, and we will see ya.